348 for a science so Mapaba BM Ediba Acroma TV so na Embreka Kreno Bekaya Kennedy or Agyapong so press of a flag where the new patriotic party and Apra or Bono and I just ordered same to just say oh also we economists we strategists like uni humapa and I just say Ghana economy and SAC and a dollar no air cost that just say they can count the pabe to that and I just say Kennedy or Agyapong doko PM or TV3 live program no nakasa to him to edin same be atu just say oh he was not referring to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Ghana vice president now it is 7 years now you should move on 7 on nakasa to Ghana and just say John Kuma and I just all this answer needing a man and so se papier to the mean several my court name put in someone Kennedy or Agyapong to the to so edituga. Swally
set them up. You see, you didn't let me finish. It was Swally. You are talking about undercover.
Yes, undercover.
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 So why didn't he Swally also cover himself?
Because
he was
undercover.
There. No, you are saying undercover, but Swally was there physically. Call Kwesi Nyantechi, he will tell you. Call Edubuahin, he will tell you. Call these ministers.
So why did you expose a gentleman to the Ghanaian public? Ultimately, the accusation is that it got him killed.
How did he get him killed? His own deeds killed him, not me.
All right.
What I said was that the first video I showed, you see, why I have a problem with some journalists and you think I don't have it. There are a series of videos. You've taken only this one. The first one, when I mentioned Swally, my workers came to know, oh, Honorable, you don't know this guy. This guy has been here for school fees. You gave him 1,500 cedis to go and pay his school fees. And I said, I don't know him. So they said, oh, he has been coming here all the time. So the first video, then I said, this guy is a bad guy. If he comes here, beat him up. Because he's going to set me up. He's going to set Ken City up. And now my toil.
You said it on live TV.
Yes.
You brought the gentleman's life in danger.
How did he
as a result of that?
What about Kwesi Nyantechi's life?
He was shot.
What about Kwesi Nyantechi? His own deed. His own deed.
So that's your conclusion.
His own deed caused his death, not me.
You also had defamatory actions undertaken in the U.S. court in Virginia, if I'm right, against Kevin Taylor. You know Kevin Taylor very well.
Yes.
Yeah. And the judgment did say it is undisputed that Agyapong is a public figure and Taylor's sentiments were made regarding matters of public concern.
Right.
It does indicate that if you plead the Fifth Amendment in the United States of America, you're a public figure, you should not be afraid of scrutiny. Why is it that when Ghanaian journalists are probing, asking questions that lead to scrutiny and governance, you seem to have a problem with it?
How do I have a problem if you are coming out with sensible questions and the truth? I have a problem with sensationalization.
And who was doing that, Kevin Taylor?
That will cause the death of some people. You see, of late, the way bloggers and other media people are going about issues, if we don't take time, it will burn this country. So you are here mentioning Kevin Taylor. You think what Kevin Taylor is doing to the country and Ghana, because he's a journalist, nobody has to say it if he's wrong? Is that what you are saying, my brother?
I'm talking about the defamatory actions you issued against him in the Virginia court.
Yeah, and they are saying that once I'm a public figure, he can say whatever he wants to say. Case closed. It doesn't mean anything. That's what they said. Whatever he said against me, the court says I'm a public figure. So if you're a public figure, they can say anything. That is all. That is the judgment. So I don't know.
I find it quite funny. And since then, you've been on the campaign trail.
Right.
And subsequently, you seem to be throwing jabs at a number of your opponents who are key leading figures, including the vice president as well as Alan Chamantin, who was trade minister, etc. I'll play you an insert, perhaps maybe you might not recall.
Right.
Please, give me that.
It is only Ghana and I would the economy IMF also your strategies. MPP for Oma clean campaign Ombanyasem because media okay may reply. Obi also your strategies. Also your strategies. Embra You're taking over power. Not dollar a 4 cities. And then dollar a 12 cities. We are strategists. Excuse me, strategists. We are strategists.
How am I throwing jabs?
Mr. Agyapong, while you seem to have taken the campaign by storm, you also seem to be rallying up feathers, angering people, including your own friends who now are standing against you as presidential candidate.
I don't care.
Who are the strategies you are talking about?
Yeah, who are the strategies? You see, in this country, unfortunately, journalists especially, most of you consume information without digesting. At least you should have given me benefit of the doubt and say that, why did this man talk like that? Is he a madman? Then you begin to probe into it. I specifically said, most say, more strategies. It means something has happened. But you never bother to check what has happened. That is the problem. You see, when I come out like this, then you say I don't like journalists.
Because you were throwing jabs at your own government, and key individuals were managing part of the economy. They are also
throwing jabs. They are throwing jabs. Did you listen to what I said? Did you further investigate? That is the problem. If somebody goes there to say that we don't want a candidate who will come and tell you, I have built this for 37 military hospital, I have bought vehicles for MPP. We want a strategist. And you see, if you had probed into it, you would have known that I was not even referring to Vice President. I was referring to John Kuma.
I didn't say that you were referring to a Vice President.
Yeah,
I have not said that.
Here. You said some of the candidates. Is John Kuma a candidate?
I'm saying some of the candidates, you're throwing jabs at them.
And is John Kuma a candidate? If you had probed into it and done your work very well, you would have known that I was not referring to any candidate. But you see, that stereotype positions that some of you take will destroy this country, which I feel is not fair. That's what I'm saying, that at least give Agyapong benefit of the doubt and ask questions. Why did he say this?
Now let's come to the subject matter of this content. Since you've been on the campaign trail, you seem to be unearthing a lot of issues and also coming to the conclusion that the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has inherited, based on the indicators, as you stated there, 4 Ghana cedis, well, it depends also where you're taking it from, 3.8 Ghana cedis to $1, seem to have taken it to where we are currently. And so it's incompetent. Is that your conclusion?
That is not a conclusion. But I was drawing the attention of the minister, who was on the floor of the House by 12 o'clock saying that we are not going to IMF today, we are not going to IMF tomorrow, and 2 p.m. we announced that we've gone to IMF. And this same guy goes out there to say that we don't want somebody like Agyapong. That's why I responded. So that doesn't mean I'm saying that MPP is incompetent. But I will admit that moving from 4 cities to 12 cities, you cannot shower praises on MPP. Read my lips. That's the gospel truth.
Does it mean that you are coming to the conclusion anybody who should be selected to be the presidential candidate doesn't need to be an individual who has served in government? Is that your conclusion?
That's not my conclusion, but it's a judgment of the voters. Those who are going to vote should know the terrain, what we are going through and everything, and one candidate that brings a new vision.
What vision do you bring?
My vision, pragmatism.
Which is what?
PhD means patriotism, honesty, and discipline. Patriotism, honesty, and discipline. In this country, if we can move this country, the situation we are in now, we need somebody who be bold to tell you to your face that what we are doing is wrong. And the moment I tell you, what's your name, please?
Roland. My name is Roland.
Roland. When I say Roland, this is wrong, you say, oh, Agyapong is rude. I'm not rude, I'm confident. And here, in this country, Ghanaians misconstrue confidence to be arrogant. That is the challenge I have in this country. All what you are saying, everything that I've said have come to pass is the truth. And once I believe is the truth, Nobody can threaten me because we are serving this country and Ghana first. So what I'm bringing on board as an experienced businessman or entrepreneur, my experiences, I'll bring it to bear because I have sat down, carefully analyzed the situations and the challenges of this country. And I know that there are 3 key areas that if we use that, we can change the fortunes of this country. That is patriotism, honesty, and discipline. Ghanaians, we are not patriotic when it comes to businesses especially. Even our lifestyle. You see, my brother, let me draw your attention to something. Why is it we cannot say that Ghana we are poor? We are not poor.
Why?
Because foreigners have shown us clearly that Ghana is rich. Why is it that foreign investments are doing well in this country and we Ghanaians, our businesses are not flourishing? Have we thought of that? Have we questioned ourselves? As a businessman, I have come to realize that the dishonesty in this country is killing our businesses. Indiscipline is killing our businesses. So we have to make sure we are disciplined, we are honest, and we are patriotic. But let me give you one example.
Do give me.
You know, I go to a place, moving pick, the UK, the visa section. I was going to take a picture.
The consular section, where they take
Right.
visas, yeah.
I was going to take a picture. And the photographer just told me, Honorable, we want you because look at those people there. They have received visas and they are going. And I can tell you, if I'm not exaggerating, between January to June, over 1 million visas have been issued to Ghanaians. And it's a drain on our human resource. So I went there and counted them, those in the queue going for their visas. My brother, 9 a.m., 73. And they were, you can see the joy in their faces because they have no jobs.
And that is because of poor management of the economy.
Yes. And the poor management, it is not only the government.
Then who has
Ghana, all of us.
who has the responsibility too?
You see, the responsibility, I know that leadership by example, that if I say, Agyapong, I'm not going to do this, and I make sure my subordinates are also not going to do it. I agree with you, we can make a difference.
Are you the one saying this? Of course, you've not been in government. You know, all these things you're saying, we've heard it before. Prior to 2017,
Right.
the president,
Right.
then opposition leader, said we have so much money. You know about that phrase?
Right.
Great. And you are also echoing same. How are we going to know you're not going to turn out to be a failed Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president?
Well, I wouldn't say he has failed, but if that's your perception and your description.
I'm drawing lessons from your conclusion that haven't gone to the IMF. That's failure.
Yeah, because I said to NDC, and I still maintain it. If NDC should go to IMF and Agyapong says they failed.
So I'm taking a cue
Then
from you. You are saying
good.
that's failure. So I also conclude that's failure.
But let me tell you, I'm a businessman. I've created a lot of businesses and employed a lot of people in this country. At least my works show that this man is a different politician. This is the first time in the history of Ghana that we are going to have somebody who has political experience, about 35 years as a politician and also 35 years as a businessman. So with this combination, some people say, oh, you are Donald Trump. I say, no, I'm not Donald Trump because he doesn't have any political experience. At least I've been in parliament for 23 years, so I know. So with the combination of politics and business, I stand out. And the business challenges that I've gone through
And experienced.
has given me the experience. That is why I've identified the problems. The word patriotism. I see that we are not patriotic. You know, because you cut in, that's why I couldn't finish about these visas. When you see a Ghanaian, my brother Roland, you see a Ghanaian holding American passport, he's so excited. When you see a Ghanaian holding a British passport, he's so excited.
But you were in America, so why not us?
I did not, never, check your records, change my identity. I had a green card. I gave it up. But I never took American passport because I cherish Ghanaian passport.
Because you have a certain vision. Now, let me ask you. It's good that you're bringing all these things about honesty, patriotism, and discipline. It also means that we need these values to be able to manage the resources we have, the gold, the things that, you know, the reality is just being in business alone, creating a steel factory, having a chain of co-stores and other business chains. Somebody will say, who is an astute economist, for example, will conclude, that is not enough to rule a whole country like ours, to take us from where we are
to the
top.
So what about the person who has not even created 1,000 jobs, that he is fit?
Who are you referring to? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia or
everybody, including NDC, all politicians. None of the politicians in this country have created employment more than me. Both NDC, CPP, everybody. So if those who could not even create 500 jobs, you see them or you perceive them as capable of ruling this country, how much more an individual who has over 7,000 workers in this country? And you are saying that that is not enough.
I'm asking a question.
I
haven't made that conclusion.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that. And again, I've told you, at least I've been a member of parliament for 23 years. Next year will be 24. 6 consecutive terms in parliament. You see, I cut across business and politics. So give me opportunity and you see what I can do for this country.
Well, at the end of the day, you first have to convince the delegates of the MPP first.
Yes.
One of the things that they seem also to be criticizing the Akufo-Addo-led government for is that you are one key person. And I remember, if you look at all the scenes, that very day in 2007, when we had the 17 people, ultimately the second round, and then we had that final acceptance speech, you were behind Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Yes.
All this while, you'd been his right arm.
Right.
He's been taking us for a ride all this while. You never advised him. You had all these great ideas. Why?
You see, my brother, it's a very good question you've asked. If there's a Akan language that was Usikeswa was himself.
Akan adage.
Right, adage. The Usikeswa was himself. That is, it means when you don't have enough money, whatever you say, people don't pay you no mind. But back to your question. You see, you can advise, and they can choose to take or leave it.
Are you saying you advised Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president?
Not Nana Addo personally, but at least the ministers that come before me, committee levels. I've served several committees, and I always give suggestions the way to move this country, starting from Honorable Kwashige's time when I was a Greek committee member. I gave them 2 proposals. For a third one, he agreed. First one, we did experiment. My company called Supercare, we took yam to Holland and did experiment. They realized the starch content in yam is the same as potatoes. And in Holland and all European countries, America, and they store yam potatoes for 8 months. So they are saying that we can store yam for 8 months. I gave them the technology. It's just simple blowers like this room, and you put the blowers like air conditioning, but it's not as cold as air conditioning. The temperature is like you still have the yam in the earth. And if you do that in layers, you can store the yam for 8 months. My brother, I said this, nobody paid me money. Second one, I advised them that June, July, August, we catch a lot of fish. We are not able to store it and smoke it, so the fishermen throw them back into the sea. What we have to do is first build cold stores with blast freeze.
Coastals with
blast freeze. You cannot just build only coastal. Coastal, the temperature is between 10 minus.
Ask you this.
Yeah.
When the country was disillusioned, and I'm talking about from December, because from September, October, the dollar started just spiraling out of control. You
Playing senior. I wanted them to justify their reasons. I am against whoever is incompetent. He has to go. But convince me. Give me reasons why you want him out. You didn't see anything from me, or you didn't hear anything from me. But behind the scenes, we also advise that this is the way we should go. I met the group and advised them that, look, this is our position. Let's go through the budget. After the budget, whatever decision you take. Because now, which is not good for us. You know why I'm saying that? You know, going round, I've had the opportunity to go around the whole, about 13 regions.
You went to 13 regions?
Yes, already.
For a man of 60...
Yeah.
60 what? 62?
3.
Hey, you're strong, man.
13 regions, thank you. And when I got to Volta region, I was shocked. What we can do in Volta region, you have no idea. The land, the water bodies. My brother, let me tell you.
Tell me.
We have, myself, my partner, we have a cassava starch factory at Agyapong that we, Prime Chief, gave us 125,000 acres land. We've cultivated 30,000 acres of cassava, and we are producing 300 tons starch at Agyapong. And this month ending, definitely the new one at Prime, 200 tons. You see, the land in Volta region is more suitable for cassava and sugarcane even than the Bono East.
Eno ene nsema Kennedy ohene Japan enso de atudo atum se ne nsem ne muda ho osenye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na odinu na John Kuma na cheso de san nsem no ema ne na no so nsem so wate bi ntino obetuma comment section ho na wo so akọkere wadwe na nyabra mso betuma kenkan e de ama ha e akroma TV so medical sebo ebro midin e de obi